Hello, I'm into part 3 of this video now. We've been mixing colours, primary colours, excuse me, creating lots of nice interesting colours, but they still look a little bit too light to me. We need an extreme dark and more light. So if you're, oops, a daisy, I seem to have marked, this was my original thing I was working off. It hasn't quite come out like that, but it's created some interesting colours. And that's okay, it was a good basis for starting. So here we are, we've created 4 paintings, abstract, just little abstract studies that we can use to create more later. What I do now is I work with, like, these are Montmartre, so you know, water-soluble oil pastels. And they're only like $6.99, they're cheap. And they've got some lovely colours, and you can use any colour you like. And I like these because they can actually finish a painting quite nicely. You see what a beautiful, oops, a daisy, and that does happen, that's okay. What a lovely rich purple that is. And again, you've got your very dark now standing out just by doing some of the squiggly stuff. Keep in mind, I'm following the patterns, you know, and move your fingers around as you do it. So that's created already very quickly interest. Now over to this one, I need to keep it probably still so you can see it all. I'm trying to think about in terms of composition. This is a bit of a messy composition because it's just a bit all over the place. This one's much clearer, it's here and here. So we're starting from here, moving across, and you can just squiggle or whatever suits you. There, very quickly done using this. Now just when you get your water, I'm just going to quickly show you. Always take fresh, clean water. If you don't, you're going to end up with muddy work, and you don't want that. So I've got my paper towel here, and as you see, when I do this, it pulls it out, it pulls the colour out. The same with here. You can pull the colour out because these are water soluble. They can make a nice toning here. I won't do a lot of this now because this is something you might want to do in your own time. And you can see already just quickly how quickly this water soluble works, and it can just create a complete different look in the painting. So I'm going to do the dark bits first. Now here, this is quite interesting. You've got your dark bits here and you've got your darker bits here. Again, you can just scribble. Scribble is good because you've got your third coming up here and going around and around here. So it's like a circle thing. That, as I said, that's a bit messy. We'll have to work on that one. And this one's quite interesting because it's got this here and it comes up in that direction. You don't have to do a lot of it. You can actually scribble bits in to make it lovely and dark. And the same with here. You can create this dark, nice patch here. And that already, it stands out quite beautifully. And I'm going to darken this up here. That will help stand this one up to here. So already you've got a very strong look, and it's all leading up in this direction. Okay, so it's looking a lot better already just with that. So beautiful colours, as you can see. Now I tend to use a lot of yellow and the reddy orange. So I've got a very good orange here, which should look quite nice. So we just put a little bit of darker orange here. And again, if we're not happy with what we've created, we can always go over it with white paint. For example, I'll show you. Say that I'm not happy with the part here. I'll just get some white paint off my palette and just cover it in like so. And that, of course, tones down the colour toning very, very quickly with what you've done. I don't like that bit there either. So I said to you I was probably going to darken and go over that too, which is what I've done. So you see the white helps to blend it in very quickly. Again, just taking some of this colour away so your eye's not too much and going everywhere. You've got to have it flowing, you've got to create rhythm, and you have to have it looking interesting. White is a great colour because, as you can see already, it's starting to being a neutral colour. Oh, it's not white on here. It's starting to bring out the other colours very clearly and create a lot of interest. That's better than it was. And this is what it's all about. I'm going to put more white on here. It's all about playing and playing and playing. And you'll get to work out what works for you. But you could spend hours and hours just playing and doing contrast. See the orange and the purple. Lovely complementary colours. And you can take it down there. So, and again, that's leading up to there. That's interesting. It's creating an interest in coming around here. Sometimes I do these sort of things, these squares, just to create an interest in the painting. I tend to do a lot of these squares, which is they automatically fix the thing up if there's a problem. And again, I'm just sort of taking it across here. My main feature point is here, so I'm highlighting this, and you're coming in up and through and back and through here. And my main feature point is here. I've actually just deliberately done this time. I wouldn't use as many squares and rectangles, but I just wanted to point out the focal point so you can see it quite clearly. And then you can put the odd little bit of orange around the place, just so it just blends in nicely. A little bit of orange coming down here maybe. And again, if you feel like you might want to, bring the colour out. Whoops, that's got white in it. As I said, this is how easy it is to contaminate. Your best thing is to quickly mop it up. And see how quickly that colour has changed. Quite lovely. So you've got the light and the dark there. And the same, this was a reddy toning, but it's gone very orange since I put that with it, and it's got that fire look about it, which is really lovely. Again, here. And if it's not working, you can actually just use this wet. You can wet it and use it. These are wonderful things just for quick colour studies, really. Seeing if they work. And wetting them is perfect, as you can see. I quite like that actually. It's starting to shape up really. It's getting very vibrant and very colourful. And that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping to create some interesting work that you want to look at and try and work out, well, where does this go, and what can I do to improve it. Now already I think putting these in has been a big bonus, because the eye is certainly very, very strong here. Okay, so that's what I do, and then I actually just using white, just keep adding white to colours, because you might want to just block out, and you'll see me just quietly just working. And again, it's just a matter of making colours light and dark, putting light against dark, and just adding, subtracting, and that's what it's all about. Relaxing, not thinking, just adding, subtracting, and just being in your own world and just playing as a child. And that's quite good. That white there, that'll come through, and to bring it back and through here. Again, don't worry if you go over the crayon, it's not going to be a big problem because they're all water soluble, okay? And this is just now, by doing this, you're seeing what's happening. The actual focal point here is really starting to stand out because everything else around it, it's very, very bright, vivid colours, vibrant colours, I'd say. And the rest is sort of quite light. And this is just a matter of just playing. You could play like this for days and days and not have any expectations. And I think it's lovely to work with paper because the paper, it's only just a bit of paper. The paper might have cost you 30 cents and you can do it front and back and you're not wasting anything except a little bit of paint, a bit of your time and just creating, right? So that's shaped up quite well. This needs a bit more work. I think there's too many colours here. I think we need to just tone it down a little bit, maybe this way. Again, creating that image. You've got the bluey colour shining through, and I think this is probably a bit on the dark side here, there. I'm just running it up and across. Don't be afraid to go across lines, across things, because It's not about, it's about overlapping. Very, very important to overlap, because the overlapping is what makes the painting, you know, interesting. If you're not overlapping, it's not good. And if you want to add a bit more interest to a painting that you're creating, what I do sometimes, if I'm just not happy with the way it's shaping up, look how quickly that's changed the whole look of it, hasn't it, by toning down the colour around it. I'll sometimes just get the end of my paintbrush and just scribble. You're supposed to do it when the paint is wet, but it's a really good way of creating, a lot of interest in your work. Now those two are looking good. These two are a little bit disjointed, I think, and that's because too many colours. There's nothing coordinated like this look. So I'm just going to quickly run around here, putting some colours in here. Don't be afraid going up and colouring coming over, tones. As I said, it's just a blueprint for a future bit of paint work for you. A canvas, when you start, you think, well, what am I going to do today? I'm really confused about what to do. So, okay, there. And as you see, I've lightened that. I'm not fussed about that bit there. But that looks better already. I mean, it's not perfect. This is not what it's all about. It's all about creating the flow, the movement, and making it feel interesting. You've got to create that interest. So you've got small lines, you've got thick lines. You've got dark colours, you've got lighter colours. You've got overlapping paint. You know, and by doing it, you turn the work up and around. We're running out of white here, but that's okay. We'll just try and finish it off with what's here. So you can just see how quickly, just by colouring the outside and the borders, how quickly you can end up with quite an interesting painting and a canvas. So here we are. This is our third part of this creating an abstract painting from start to finish. And you'll learn a lot more techniques. This is just one of many techniques that I teach. My art course is not only just about painting, but it also involves your feelings and your thoughts. And that's a very important part of the painting, which, interesting today, I felt quite happy and quite positive. And this is what's happened today. I've done a nice, happy, positive painting. Just put this away now. And always put your stuff away if you can, because no good getting it confused. And you'll see how I've got this tape that I use. And when you take the tape off, it creates, I'm trying to undo it here. Not easy, it's sort of stuck on. I'll try this side. Here we go. Stuck on two sides, so here we go. You can just use any tape, it doesn't matter what it is. Oopsie daisy. So, and don't worry if it's pulling, it's not. They're not masterpieces. They're not supposed to be like masterpieces. They are just your blueprints for your work. Throw that away. A little bit more to get off here. There. There you are. Now that's looking quite good. And what I would do now is get some scissors and I would cut these in half. And just in that 1.5 hours, I've got four paintings, 1, 2, 3 and 4 to work with. And actually I quite like the colours. I don't use orange, it's an unusual colour for me to use, but I was feeling quite positive today, so I think it's showing in my work here. And what you can do is when you've finished them, you can turn them around and work out which way works best. Now the interesting thing is that looks like a big S for me, which is my name, but I think I did it that way I think I quite like it that way. And these can be put in little frames and you can sell these. People love these because they're abstract. And there's a lot more things you can do to add to them, to embellish them, which I show you on the course. But there's a good start, and again, you turn it. That's interesting, and again, that's nice like that too. Quite like it that way for some reason. This one here, I think I like it. Somehow I like it that way, and I wouldn't mind seeing something coming through from over here. And again, you can just keep adding, so it's not looking like it's out on a limb. You don't want things coming from nowhere, like we started it over in this corner here, which is good. Again, same here, and this is just stuck out there in the middle of nowhere, so we're just going to you can take it up and out and it comes back and around. That's quite nice there, that there. So you see I've turned them around because I worked out that they probably look better like that, but you might like them that way, and that's okay. That's actually quite a nice way too, almost like mountain scenes. Yeah, so there you are, that's today's lesson. You've got 3 parts to it, so you've got quite a lot of work to do, haven't you? You could spend the whole week just doing these and just choosing your colour palette. As I initially said, I chose it from a home magazine. So it was called Beautiful Magazine, and these were the colours I was inspired by, but the teal and the orange combination, which has come out quite strong, but I've added purple in there because I just felt it needed a strong colour contrast, and that's the complementary really. So there you are. Okay, well, happy painting, and I'm dying to see what you've created because I'm sure you'll do better work than mine, and please share it on the Facebook. Very important we share it. You can see what I've just done. I've just made a mess, but that's okay. I shouldn't do this, but that was me putting this on top of my palette because I hadn't finished with my palette, so I just shouldn't have had it hanging around there. So it's created a bit of a mess. Anyway, happy painting, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.